One and two and three. Hello again, everybody. It has been a few minutes, right? Couple of months. Last time I really had something to say is when our brother, the Reverend Good Dr. Frankie Beverly, took flight, guys. Just left the stage, and it's been a minute since I've really been inspired to say something. But we have let's see, I will call him an angel among us, Ta-Nehisi Coates. I have been enamored with this writer since he wrote The Water Dancer. I know stuff came before then and things have happened after then, but that was the book that really got me in listening to him and reading him. And so he has a new book, The Message, and because he's such a luminous mind and a deep thinker and a courageous writer, he has gotten a lot of attention for the book. But the thing that stands out to me the most is how honest and sincere this man is. And I got to say courageous again, because you can't say the things that he's saying without having strong convictions. You can't back up the things you're saying without doing the work. And he prides himself on doing his research and finding out and learning firsthand what it is he's talking about. So those things are admirable and expected. I know it doesn't happen a lot. Well, I'm exaggerating. It doesn't happen all the time. But it is what we expect. We expect truth from those who write to us. And according to Mr. Coates, writers, they have a high calling in our world, in our society. And if we can't get truth from them, where can you get it from? And I mean that. I don't even want to qualify that, because they're the people we're listening to today. Clearly, they're the people we're listening to them. Truth or not, we're listening to the people who write and who speak to us, like you're listening to me, some of you, a handful of you, but whatever. I just wanted to say that Mr. Coates, Ta-Nehisi Coates, knows how to love everybody. And something he said recently that I can interject right here and says, just because I disagree with you does not mean I don't like you. I don't have to hate you to call my truth, especially as I have experienced it. And why, and I'm just going to throw this in here, why does he have to hate Israel? Why does he have to wish that Israel, or suggest that Israel has no right to live, for stating a truth that he experienced? And I just think that's bad form, quite honestly. Whoever is saying those things or suggesting that that's how he feels, I keep interrupting myself, but that's how you would feel if it were you. Let's just call it that. When you judge other people, you are mainly judging yourself. Good or bad. Good or bad. That remind me of a scripture. Someone suggested that was a scripture, that he that is pure sees all things pure. I could say he that is corrupt, or she that is corrupt, sees everything as corrupt. You are judging yourself. You're not judging this man. Because he judges himself. And that's how it works. When you love and you know how to love, nobody has to tell you when you're wrong. Nobody has to tell you when to apologize. You know when you're wrong, and you know when you need to apologize, and so you do. And so when you decide that you are going to learn how to love, you begin with yourself. B.B. King, I will always say this, look yourself in the mirror and tell yourself the truth. And the truth in this matter, for me, is This is a man who knows how to love. This is a man who cares about human beings, period. And I love it when he says, I don't care what the murderer did, I do not believe in the death penalty. That's his truth. That's his principle. That's a value of his. So it doesn't matter to him. Every life is important. And I believe we think that life is important, but not by the way we treat people. Not by the way we treat those who we consider not really people, not really human, or not deserving. And if I could just put words in Mr. Coates' mouth, I would say he would say everybody deserves righteousness. Everybody deserves to live. Everybody deserves water. Everybody deserves to have a decent amount of freedom, if not all the freedom that is available to them. Everybody deserves it. And so it doesn't matter what pronoun you go by or what ethnicity you identify with. It matters that you are human, and that's him. And I wouldn't be saying these things if I did not agree with him, and I totally agree with him. What I really do appreciate about Mr. Coates too is that he does not profess to be a believer probably in a lot of things. He doesn't say he's a Christian. He says he's not religious. I don't really know what his beliefs are. But if he were an outright atheist, he knows how to love, period. Because these are the words of a person, in this case of a man, who have decided, on whatever basis he has decided, that people deserve the best that the world can offer. And that any group of people or any person who decides on their own who deserves to live because they don't agree with them, or who deserves to be imprisoned because you can imprison them, you can't possibly call yourself any kind of positive spiritual being. And I'm going to put it that way. Any kind of possible spiritual being. So let me just say to you, Mr. Coates, if you never hear this, you know it already because you know yourself. That you are a believer in truth. You are a lover of humankind. And you are anything but a person of hate. And for that, I would say, you know how to love. You know how to radically accept someone just where they are. Because that's what love is to me. And I will repeat myself every opportunity I get. Love is to hold someone or something in such high regard that you make the necessary sacrifice to stay connected to that someone or something. This has been Dr. Deborah, Mr. Coates, Ta-Nehisi Coates. You know how to love.